Development is really just the manufacturing of housing. It's very different from buying a real estate asset and hoping it appreciates, or hoping that it cash flows, or worrying about the cap rates. You don't have to worry about any of that. You have to worry about, can it sell for more than it costs to build? And that's really all you have to look at. I started Cranston Capital in 2006 as a corporate finance advisory firm. But in 2011, I was approached by Anthony Heller, who is the founder of Plaza Corp and one of the biggest developers, I would say, in the country, about creating an exempt market dealer to raise capital for specifically Plaza Corp developments in 2011. And so we started doing that, and have at the time we were doing some other tech deals and private equity and some other stuff. But over time we've shifted completely to real estate. We still look at some, multifamily or seniors housing or some other assets, but 90% of what we do is finance residential development. And we have 22 active projects right now across the GTA. With a variety of different developers. We've got some sites that we're just taking through the rezoning process and hope to sell to a developer when it's zoned. But the majority of what we do is right through to completion. One Yorkville is probably the address that most people would recognize. We put $28 million into that when Plaza Corp bought the land back in 2013. And all of our investors did very well on the exit when it completed a couple of years ago. We also have, so high rise is obviously something we're very experienced in, but we also have low rise, mid rise, townhouses. So we're kind of across the board in terms of residential. We see a huge need for housing, and we want to, put investors' money to work. There's going to be a huge capital requirement to, keep up with what CMHC says we need to build in the province.
Canadians love real estate, do we, I want to invest in a tech company, or I want to invest. Sure, it exists.
As long as it has to do with real estate.
Everybody wants to put their money in real estate. Yeah. As long as they're working on real
right?
prop tech.
Yeah, and I think that, we talk a lot to investment advisors and guys who sell investments all day long and try to explain to them that real estate, there's different areas and ways to invest in real estate. So you can buy a condo and rent it out. You can buy a commercial plaza. You can buy a cottage and AirbNb it. You can buy an office building. Those are all ways to invest where you're hands-on and you have, a lot of stuff to deal with. You can invest in a REIT where it's passive, but you're subject to public markets fluctuations. Development is completely different from all of that. Development is really just the manufacturing of housing. We always talk about, we have this analogy to the shoemaker. And if someone came to you, if you're Nike and someone came to you and said, here's an order for 100,000 shoes, and Nike comes to me and says, will you finance this order? And I know that they're sold already, for sure I'll finance it. I know that it's going to cost you $3 to make the shoe and you're going to sell it for $5 and there's a $2 profit there. It makes sense for me to finance it because I know it's sold. And that's a lot of what, the development industry is. You pre-sell before you build, so you're de-risking. And you can only do that if you have a profit margin. The bank won't lend you any money if there's no profit margin. And so if there is a profit margin and you're with a developer who knows what they're doing, and we're very conservative in our forecasting, you can almost not guarantee, but feel very comfortable that there's going to be some profit at the end. They're not going to build it if they won't be able to build it if there isn't. So it's very different from buying a real estate asset and hoping it appreciates, or hoping that it cash flows, or worrying about the cap rates. You don't have to worry about any of that. You have to worry about, can it sell for more than it costs to build? And that's really all you have to look at.
From the comfort of your own living room.
Yeah.
Not having to worry about it. Is that the biggest raise you've done, is one Yorkville?
Yeah. That was 28 million. That was the biggest raise that we've done. We've done a lot of others, anywhere from 5 million up to 25.
Nice. And so this is like, this is the business model, just so people understand who are listening right now, right? It's like, you guys are, what would you call it? Are you guys like a securities firm? Like, what do you guys call it?
Yeah, we're an exempt market dealer. So we're registered with the Ontario Securities Commission, and we're registered in Alberta and BC and Quebec and Newfoundland as well. So we kind of keep things on side from a securities law perspective for the developer. A developer can say that they want to go raise money, and if they get it from three guys who are writing $5 million checks, that's fine. But as soon as someone wants to go raise money, 50,000, 100,000, 250,000 at a time, you really need a dealer in the middle to, you know, do the securities law requirements.
Because everyone's always worried about risk, right? Like that's always like, you talk to anybody about investing in real estate, they get nervous right away. They say, oh, what's the risk? And, you know, where's my money going and who's holding my money and how is it being monitored? And obviously the government knows this as well. So it's a requirement to have a company like yours in order to raise money in this way.
Yeah, the real requirement is suitability. Is we have to do a know your product, so we have to understand what we're putting people into, and we have to be able to explain the investment to the investors. But it's our responsibility to make sure that it's suitable. So a big part of suitability is, you know, is an 80-year-old going to go into a high-rise project that might take 6-7 years? It might not be suitable. Now, if that 80-year-old is investing for future generations and they don't need that money for themselves in their life, then it might be okay. But we have to always look at the suitability. And the reason why these types of investments are, you know, deemed high risk from the Securities Commission is because they have no liquidity. You put your money in, and that's the biggest risk, that you can't get it. You can't access it. You have to wait till the project finishes.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our clips channel. Why don't you go and check out some more clips? We got lots of other good content somewhere over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.